Testing, testing. One, two,
Adventure
three.
together. YouTube.
Alright, we're unmuted.
Let's see. Does this look okay? I think so.
Yep.
Hold on. I don't like
It is funny that we're like zoomed in on Chris. Because you can see him right there.
Chris times 2. You guys are lucky tonight. Well, good evening, everyone. The Adventure Together team is here with some big updates tonight. I'm Nick Mastoris, or Hamaro as many of you know me. I am one of the co-founders and program director at Adventure Together.
I'm Anthony Mastoris, also known as Salpicus, aka Salpy, Slappy, whatever you want to call it. I'm head of game design here at Adventure Together.
And my name is Chris Torres, also known as Shaper, and I'm the head of creative direction here at Adventure Together.
We are monitoring the Discord chat as well as the YouTube chat, so if you have any questions, any concerns during the stream, please do not hesitate to write in the chats and we will address them either during the stream or at the end of the stream during the Q&A section. So tonight we have some really exciting things to talk about. The first thing we're going to talk about is, I think, what's on everybody's mind and what the community has really been asking for nonstop, which we can't blame you for, and that is the Gamefound Pledge Manager and Late Pledge. So we are so excited to finally announce that during the stream tonight, the Gamefound Pledge Manager and Late Pledge will be going live. So we will be live.
Cheers.
Yes.
So cheers to the next step in the adventure, and thank you all for your support so far, and for those of you who have yet to support, we are excited to have you here joining us this evening. So I want to talk a little bit about the Pledge Manager and the Late Pledge. Most of the community seems to be familiar with this process, but I just want to make it really clear on what you can expect from this Pledge Manager and Late Pledge. So all of your pledges that you made in Kickstarter have been imported to the Gamefound system. When we go live, you will get an email notification that points you to the Pledge Manager and Late Pledge, and you will either, if you have an existing Gamefound account, that you will be able to log in using that as long as it's the same email address that you log into Kickstarter with, or you will register a new account with Gamefound using the email address that you have registered to your Kickstarter. All of your pledges have been tied to that email address within your account. So all the pledges you have should still be tied to your account. So when you do log into Gamefound and you go into your orders, you will see all of the orders that you placed as part of Kickstarter. If you don't, reach out to us in Discord. We have a new Discord channel called Gamefound Support. Please go ahead and contact us there. Feel free to tag Hamaro. I will be leading support on this effort any way I can, trying to make the process as smooth as possible. Now, what are you able to do in the Pledge Manager? There's a few things. You cannot remove any items from your order. However, you can do additional add-ons and additional rewards. Now, a reward in the Pledge Manager is the exact same thing as a tier pledge in Kickstarter. However, there are no limitations as to how many of those pledges you can order. So in Kickstarter, as an example, when you order a Source Starter set, you can only get one of them as part of the pledge. Now you can get unlimited amounts of pledges. So if you want multiple sets of Source Deluxe or Source Starter set or Time Strike, whatever it is, you can order in that method. The second part that's changed is now when you place your Source Deluxe order, or if you have an existing Source Deluxe or Source Starter order, you now have a set of options that will be available to you. These options are going to be your environment themes. There are 5 environment themes to choose from. You have your Fantasy Forest, you have your Frozen Tundra, you have your Highlands, you have your Desert, and you have 8-bit, which was unlocked as part of the stretch goals in Kickstarter. Speaking of stretch goals, we still have some stretch goals on the landing page that you will be able to view. And there are some updates to what you will receive in your pledges. So the team has been working really hard to make sure that we're bringing you the best products possible. We've been just heads down behind the scene. So I'm going to just hand it over to Shaper real quick, and he's going to go through some of the additions to the existing pledges and some of the modifications and configurations that we've made.
Yes, thank you. So the first and probably most exciting is as you take a look at the Pledge Manager, you guys are going to see that there's at least one new biome, sometimes two, across every environment theme. So we took a good hard look at all the themes that we were offering, all the biomes that were in the boxes, and we've added some new really exciting biomes to the theme selections. So I hope you guys will be excited about those. I know that we are. The other is Time Strike. So we've added what we're calling the hex base. And the purpose of the hex base in each Time Strike box is to make it a standalone game product. So that if you're a player who just wants to buy Time Strike, maybe you're not looking to make the investment into Source just yet, you can go ahead and you can get Time Strike and it will play on its own. These are really exciting. These are going to be foldable boards that are essentially double layered cardboard that has an outline of each hex and tile cut into it. So we built a die tool that goes ahead and it cuts that double layered piece of cardboard and enables you to then slot your tiles into it. This is great because it's also tileable. So for instance, if two friends buy Time Strike, neither of you bought Source, you could take both of those boards, you could stick them together, and suddenly you have a much larger base to start playing your game on. But what's great is if you do own Source, you can stack your tiles easily on top of this cardboard. So that's a really exciting update to Time Strike. I'll also talk about the fact that we're making a lot of progress on Time Strike. So our manufacturing partner, Gamefound, just finished the PU samples, and everything looks really beautiful, but importantly, it functions really beautifully as well. So everything's sliding in and out really nicely on all these sort of mountable miniatures. Right, we have Abaddon over here, and the quality of these is just outstanding. They did such a fantastic job capturing all the details, and we are so excited to see how these are all progressing. I can't wait for you guys to get them. The other is grip mats. So as you guys know, we partnered with Eric Salyers over at Grip Mats to go ahead and bring a neoprene mat that has a seamless texture of each of our environment theme biomes printed across of it, and a hex overlay on top, so that you could lay it down on your table, cover a really large area, and then start to stack your Source tiles up on top of it, but also use the hex overlay across that neoprene mat to continue to play your game on that space. Importantly, because Source is a non-interlocking design, we wanted those mats to be grippy. That's important so that your tiles stay right where you want them. Your hexes and your tiles, all those configurations, you put them down and they're not going to move. Bump the table all you want, they're going to stay put. The same holds true to your miniatures. So these mats are really, really super nice quality. And Eric Salyers over there was nice enough to go ahead and upgrade all of the backers who got the mats and all the new backers coming in who want them to a double-sided mat. So now you're going to have two environment themes on either side. And the way we've done this is by theme. So when you go into the Pledge Manager, you select which neoprene mat option you want. You're going to be selecting, let's say, desert. And then what you're going to get there is desert on one side and cold water on the other side. If you go ahead and you select the
8-bit.
8-bit, you're going to get 8-bit grass and you're going to get 8-bit water. So we always go with the sort of base environmental biome on one side and then the base
Water.
liquid
Liquid.
on the other side. So if you want an all-water map to build little islands around it, you can do that. Or if you want to flip it over and start with a base of water and just put some rivers throughout it, you can do that too. So that's a really exciting update, and I hope you guys are excited about that. I know I am. I have some samples here. Maybe I'll bring them later throughout the stream, and I'll show them off. But I think that covers it. I think those are the sort of product updates that you guys can expect to see in the Pledge Manager and things that we are really excited about. Oh wait, one more. We also added a hardcover lore book to Time Strike.
Yes.
We unlocked the lore book as one of our stretch goals, and we're really excited about this. And we were going back and forth about what best way to include that in the game. And so now you're going to get all of the wonderful lore and character stories in an illustrated hardcover lore book. And that's going to come in every copy of Time Strike.
Yeah. And all of that will be reflected within the Gamefound Pledge Manager and Late Pledge. So when you're looking at your add-ons, which is where the grip mats are located, you'll see all of the images that Chris put together. And you'll also have a description when you're choosing your environment theme, what's on the front side, what's on the back side. So just the same way that you would select an environment theme for your Source Deluxe or Source Starter set, or any Source set that you purchase, you'll do the same for the grip mat, And again, you'll get one side, which is a land, and one side, which is some sort of liquid. And I think what I'm most excited about is like throwing the 8-bit down and putting the 8-bit water down and doing like a C map really, really fast. We've demoed this in the past, so if you look at our old YouTube videos, you'll see Chris actually demonstrated how when you put one of these hexes down on the grip mat and you just apply light pressure, it doesn't move anymore. It actually almost seemingly locks in place without being a sticky surface. So we're really excited about these grip mats. We think they're going to make life a lot easier when trying to build large-scale maps in a quick amount of time, and you can literally just bring it to life with some height, with some additional hexes and tiles.
Yeah, they're going to be really great for wargaming applications. And there's one more thing I forgot to mention, actually, which is the trees. So we heard a lot of people, concerned about the trees and, will they tip over? Could we get them with bases on them? And, obviously the reason we chose to not include bases on the trees is we like to see the biome artwork beneath them when you place them around the map. So what we did is we went ahead and, we made inserts in the bottom. So if you want to sort of attach these to a base, it's going to be a lot easier with these inserts. And the second thing we did is we widened the base on each. So both the oak and the pine trees now have a much, much wider base and a much, much heavier bottom. So they're going to be able to hold themselves up a heck of a lot better.
Yeah, we heard a lot of concerns from the community around the trees and them being able to be kind of easy to knock over. So I think that was a really smart move, just making those bases wider, making them a little bit sturdier. And then, of course, we want the custom community to really embrace what Source and Time Strike are bringing to the table. So that's why Chris said we added that little insert. It would be really easy to just, if you really wanted to, add these to a tile or a hex or a custom design tile or hex, and then be able to place them down, and then they wouldn't go anywhere because they'd be locked on a tile or a hex.
They said, okay. Okay, you saw it. Cool.
What was it?
It's just hard to hear Chris. So just towards the mic.
Speak up, Chris.
I will. I'll be louder.
Well, just this way.
That way. Okay. So, like I said, the Gamefound Pledge Manager will be going live in just a few minutes here. I just have to get up and click the button, but we want to give you guys all these updates first. So, next thing we're going to talk about is manufacturing, fulfillment, and distribution. Now, this was, and I'm being super transparent, a very, very new learning curve for the team. We, I think, tackled it really, really well, and we've come out the other side like, oh, okay, now we understand it. Now we can do it over and over and over again for future products. But we took our time with it. We really, really wanted to understand it. And now I think we're in a great spot to serve you guys better and make sure that not only is the product arriving the way it should be, but the steps from A to B to Z, which Z is reaching you, are kind of laid out and really, really easy and clean for us to understand. So I'm going to let Chris give some manufacturing updates. We're going to talk about fulfillment, and then we're also going to talk about an exciting new partnership in distribution.
Yep. So yeah, as Nick mentioned, after these logistical challenges of releasing what is 50 plus unique products was a serious hurdle for us. But we have the right partners to kind of see us through that, and we've managed to sort of navigate that now, and we're really excited that part of the process is over. I mean, we couldn't have launched the Pledge Manager until we had our hands firmly, wrapped around that situation. So on the manufacturing side, as I mentioned, we're in PU samples on the miniatures, which is going fantastic. The next step will be to get them all the art assets for the game, and once we are confirmed on these PU samples, we're going to start making the tools. So the PU samples are good to go. We gave approval to Gameland 2 weeks ago or so, and they're moving into the tooling phase now. So I hope to have some updates, and I'll be sharing pictures of the tooling as it progresses. I know that's for a lot of people that's really interesting and exciting part about tabletop gaming. I know for me in particular, it's what I'm most fascinated by and interested in. In addition to that, we started producing Source. So Source tiles and hexes are coming off the tools hot. As we mentioned, those tools were already made, so there was no tooling to be done really except for the 24 hex, which we got done. And now we are producing what is, I think, over 800,000 hexes and tiles to start delivering Source sets to all of you. And we are just doing the final phases of tweaking the packaging design, stuff like adding UPC barcodes, making sure they have all the safety markings on them and whatnot. I think we're gonna we fixing the audio? Am I still too low?
No, you aren't, but I made it so that all the mics are picking up now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it was still on the solo mode.
Yeah, it was on solo.
Yep.
Yep,
Here's
so-
the 24s, so they're
That's hot off the tool.
And that is, not glued like the other ones we've showed off in the past. Incredibly sturdy. Salpy's banging it against his rock hard knee, or at least or his head apparently.
it's good.
It's really, really great. We're excited for these. This is actually the first time I'm holding it, so I'm excited for these as well. And this is actually kind of what a blank one would look like. So you could see every package of Source and Source Deluxe does come with some blank hexes, not necessarily blank 24, but blank single hexes. So this is the color that you'd be looking at and be able to customize,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I think this demo was a little off color.
It's
Right.
a little darker, but
Yeah.
overall it's pretty
Yeah,
similar.
pretty close.
Yeah, so that's obviously part of the process of getting golden samples, even for Source, is to make sure that the plastic's the right color. It's going to match
It's strong.
across all the production. So these were originally slightly off, but we're fixing that. What else? Oh, so yeah, so logistics. So our fulfillment and logistics partner is Quartermaster, which we are really, really proud and excited to be partnered with. That team has been absolutely tremendous helping us navigate, just how, right now, like I said, we have 50 products and hundreds of configurations based on you backers and your preferences.
Hundreds.
So each and every single one of those different configurations had to be considered. We had to get an estimate and the weights. We had to figure out, the pricing across every single region around the world, and then make sure that was put into the back end of the Pledge Manager, which Nick did a lot of the heavy lifting and Tony did a lot of the calculating to figure out exactly how that pricing should work. So
Right. Shaper and I did go to Gamma a couple weeks ago in
Yep.
Kentucky and met with the team from Quartermaster. They're just wonderful people. They absolutely love the product. They got their hands on it and they're like, oh, I get it now. And that's kind of been how it's always played out, is as soon as you kind of get your hands on the product, you understand what's going on.
yeah, 100%. And through the process of them being our logistics and fulfillment partner, we started to discuss distribution. So Quartermaster has been in the fulfillment game for a really long time. They're known across the industry. They're renowned for doing a fantastic job and for their customer service. But just recently, I think a little under a year ago, or maybe slightly over a year ago now, they started to do distribution. So they saw an opportunity, as we were talking to them about logistics, to start getting Source into retail stores. So we've signed an agreement not only for them to be our fulfillment partner, for them to be our distribution partner. This is super exciting because they're going to start soliciting to retailers all around the world, and obviously they have contacts everywhere, to go ahead and get it to retailers. So the most important thing that we can ask of our community right now is, if you have a local game store that you frequent, let the owners know, let the people know to get Source and to get it in stock. And they should probably just reach out to any distributor that they've worked with in the past or they work with all the time. Quartermaster will have all those contacts. If you guys can start to tell them that there's that demand and those retailers can go ahead and express that interest through this solicitation process, you're going to see a lot more Source in a lot more stores around the world.
Yeah.
So this is a thrilling and exciting update for us. And again, a lot of you guys know that one of the challenges as a new business is to try and get that volume that you need to continue to produce a product line, keep it thriving, and to continue to drive costs down for the customer. So the more distribution sales we can get, the better off we'll be as a publisher, and hopefully the more affordable and more accessible Source is going to become everywhere around the world. I personally can't wait for that day where I just get to walk into a retail store and I see it on a shelf. So help out any way you can. If you go to your local game store, please just let them know.
Yeah, I think what's most exciting to me is that I didn't have a visualization of what a fulfillment and distribution pipeline looked like, and now within the last month and a half, we've created that pipeline. So this is not just something that's really valuable for this first print of Source, for the first prints of Time Strike, for the first prints of Source Golf. This is valuable for everything that Adventure Together is going to bring you over the years. And as we've stated many times, we're not going anywhere. We're here to stay. This is our vision. This is our love letter to the community, and we want to see this through till we're 80, 90 years old, and you guys throw us out and say, okay, we've had enough of you. That's what we want to be as a company. We don't want to leave and have somebody else take over, and we don't want to get rid of this ever. We want to be here, and we want to grow with you guys and provide something for, not only you, but your kids or your friends that are younger, whatever it is.
Yeah, and through this process, we've definitely learned a lot. And while we are getting all this out, you're just going to see us improve more and more as far as our timing, our efficiency, our quality. Everything is just going to keep getting better, because this was, we kind of just went like really hard into this with like all the configurations of product and shipping and stuff. And probably as our first run, that's not advised. So we kind of just, dove headfirst into the deep end. But now as we kind of move forward, we feel way more capable of just knocking out our next project and our next offering and everything to you at, better packaged, better designed, better everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And that brings me, that actually, I want to touch on something that I forgot to in the first section where we talked about Gamefound going live. As part of that, you will actually also be able to enter your address and pay for shipping. So we will be collecting all your shipping costs, and we will pay the fulfillment partner directly. So if you have any questions, again, and I'm going to say this 100 times, I'm going to say it in Discord, I'm going to say it on Facebook, all of our communities. If you have questions, if you have concerns, if you're confused and you feel like you don't fully understand what you need to do, message us on Discord. There's no support team across the world that's waiting for your phone calls. It's us. We're sitting here. We're going to get on the phone with you or get on Discord with you or work it out the best we can to make sure that you have the best experience possible, that you're comfortable with every decision you're making, and you understand exactly what you're doing step by step by step. So that covers some updates for Time Strike and Source, but there's another aspect to Adventure Together that I think everybody's just as excited for it, maybe not as excited for, but I'm even more excited for than the board itself. And that is the library of applications that we plan on bringing you in the coming year. We have 2 applications that have been heavily requested and we have been working hard on in the back end for you. The first one is the open source application, and the second one is the Source Map Builder. Now, we have a new team member, one that will be probably introduced in a stream later on, and he has taken it on to build our own Source Map Builder. And I can't demo it for you today. We're not quite ready to demo, but I can say that pioneers and myths within the Discord will be given first alpha access in the coming weeks. We are working on the UI right now and some of the back-end functionality, but I can give you some really exciting details about it. So we're building it on Unity, and the reason that we chose Unity is because it's called WebGL, I believe.
It has browser support, so the idea is that you'll be able to access the map builder from any device without installing any programs. You'll be able to boot up the site and just start building the maps.
That's exactly why we were so excited. So right now we're actually testing just opening up Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, plugging in the URL, and you're actually able to build right within your browser, whether it be on your phone, your tablet, or your desktop. And that's just the beginning. We are going to load this with a slew of features over time, but right now we want to get what's most important out to you. So some of the features that we plan on having is access to all of the different environment themes, the ability to select different box sizes. So if you maybe came and backed It's Raining Source, you could select that and you would get that many hexes and tiles so that you could visualize exactly what you would be able to build at home once this reaches you. Again, you'll have all the environment themes available to you. You will be able to save and export your builds and load them later or pass them to a friend to load at home. You will have replayability and export of the build of that video. So you will actually be able to go back and say, oh, what did I do? How did I build this? Oh, I put a layer here, a layer there. It'll almost be like a YouTube theater where you can go back through your build and watch it in real time and stop it and pause it and then export it and send it to a friend. That way, if you have a build and you say, hey, I'm going to be over your house in a few days, this is the build I want to play, you can send them that file and they can recreate it right on their table at home the exact same way that you did. So these are just a few of the features that are going to be available right off the bat and we're really, really excited. There's also going to be a feedback option in the application. So as soon as we roll it out to our Discord pioneers and myths, you'll be able to start submitting feedback and giving us your input on what's most valuable as the player, as the consumer, as the creator for us to add to this application. So it's really, really exciting. We'll probably be demoing it in 1 to 2 weeks from now, and then we'll be releasing it,
Yeah.
We will.
Timelines.
Timelines can change. Timelines can change, but
Look where we're at now.
we're always trying to shoot for getting you things as soon as possible. So we're working really, really hard on it. The second part is the open source application. So the open source application is in development right now, and the same principles are going to apply as far as access to the community. So our myths and pioneers will gain access to the open source application first. Our MVP requirements for that application, right now we're looking at simple things like the ability to log in, view the store, add projects to your library, upload assets, creating your own project, downloading assets, and really an experience that at first simply allows you to post projects up onto the site and view others and download them. And that is really the heart of Source. That's your, if you want to say, your gameplay loop. That's kind of what it is. You're getting projects up. Eventually we're going to come out with rating systems and other really, really more detailed features to give you guys the power in the application. But we're really, really excited for that. That'll probably come out, again, I don't want to give any official timelines, but in the next month or so. Maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months. We're going to do it as best we can to get everything to you as soon as possible. Stop giggling about the timeline.
Don't say anything. Say we're working on it.
We're working on it. Salpy doesn't like timelines. We're working on it, and we're getting it to you as quickly as possible.
We have a question on the stream about will there be any other way to get your hands on Source after Gamefound closes? Can you order directly from AT or through another web store? So yes, all the above. I think that so first off, our distributor or our distribution partner will be selling to retailers who have online web stores, and they will be listing the product on their own web store. And just as an FYI, we'll be rolling out all the environment themes one at a time. So the first that we're going to be soliciting out to retailers, and the first that you're going to see drop, and I think the time frame there is about September, October, maybe August time frame, will be Fantasy Forest. So that is the environment theme we're leading with. Then every couple of months, we're going to roll out a new one. So you're going to see these becoming available, and they're going to be rolling out all throughout the year leading up till Christmas. In addition, we will have our own web store on the Adventure Together website, where you can come and you can buy any of the things that we have in inventory. And again, that'll be fulfilled exactly the same way as backers are going to receive their products. So you'll go on that online store, you'll choose what you want to buy, you'll pay shipping, and it should show up at your door fairly quickly. We'll make sure that the estimates on when that product will arrive will be up on the website, so that's all clear to you guys. But yeah, we're going to find, and build every single way we can. I think the Source app eventually will be a place where you can go ahead and buy more Source and any of the games that we have for sale. I think in a nutshell, the easiest way to talk about what we're building there is it's Steam for tabletop games. It's going to be very similar to what you've come to expect and experience with the same level of quality that you've come to expect and experience from digital games. We want to bring that to the physical realm of gaming and to tabletop.
And to add on to that, when you do see the Gamefound open, you will be able to see the MSRP across all our products.
That's a really good point.
Keep that in mind. But to address a question that Golden Raptor had in chat, just so I can say it on the stream, is that we have not announced the closing date of when our Gamefound late pledge will end. We will give everyone a heads up when that date, is approaching. But as of right now, we don't have a time frame to announce.
Yeah, we're talking about anywhere from 30 to 40 days right now. That could change. It could get longer. I don't think it'll get shorter than that. But that's what we were talking about as far as the length of the Pledge Manager and late pledge. So something about the Pledge Manager and late pledges, people that were imported from, backers that were imported from Kickstarter, they have access to the Kickstarter prices. They have a whole list of Kickstarter backer products that they will continue to be able to select from. Late Pledge will have their own selection of products because Kickstarter backers locked in the best rate that you'll ever see Source and Time Strike in ever again, and Source Golf and all of our products. Late Pledge is a little bit more expensive, just to make sure we honor our backers from Kickstarter. But to Salpy's point, when you're viewing the products, you'll see the MSRP price and then what it is as Gamefound. So you'll be able to see a real picture of, okay, if I wait for this to come to stores, this is what I would be paying instead. So we hope that will incentivize people to really just understand that this is it for Source and Time Strike. This is your chance to get it at the lowest prices that you'll ever see it again before we are in retail, end of this year.
Yeah, hopefully, there's going to be more crowdfunding campaigns coming from us. So every time we launch a new product, we'll do our very best to give those incredible discounts through crowdfunding. That's always going to be the best for you, the backer, and the best for us, the publisher. The way to get games into people's hands. So we're going to continue to do crowdfunding efforts, but we don't know when the next one's going to be. So for now, it's going to be, Gamefound is going to be the best discount you could possibly get. We'll let you know when that's going to close, but that window is pretty important. And then after the fact, we'll be selling it at MSRP through our web stores and through our website and potentially the Source app.
I want to also mention, Chris talked about earlier that you're going to have new biomes as part of most of the environment themes. Some environment themes gain 1 new biome, some gain 2, some are the exact same. That is all up in the details for each environment theme, and you'll see it on the Gamefound homepage, and you will have new box art imagery, which Chris provided, that shows what those new biomes look like. So as an example, the desert has a new one called Runite, which is one of my favorites. If anybody's familiar, it reminds me of Rune from RuneScape. I can't help but get my head around that, and I want to make Rune armor as soon as I see it.
It was definitely the inspiration.
Yeah.
Well, we got some inspiration for sure from RuneScape, but
Runite acts as another type of resource. So you'll have Obsidian and Runite that acts as the resources in that theme.
I think 8-Bit has some new biomes. I think
8-Bit has now gained a new water type that is lily pads, and a new resource type that is sand. So now you'll have grass, clay, sand, stone, and then you have
two types of water,
which is normal water and then lily pads.
Yeah, so the only reason I say that is check out the homepage, the landing page. There are some updates since Kickstarter. There's new images, there's new box art, a lot of different things that will just show you what's changed since the Kickstarter and the additional offerings that we're giving to you and changes in configuration.
We've only added things.
That's true. We've only added things. I think the last thing I want to talk about before we kind of open the Q&A a little bit more, and maybe even I think we're talking about doing a live stream for you guys tonight of playing a skirmish mode of Time Strike, but Tony or Salpy has been working on a lot of updates to Time Strike. We now have 3 modes that I'm going to let him talk about, and the updates that he's been able to make so far that we've play tested, everybody's been really, really thrilled with. So I'll let him talk about that a little bit.
Thank you. So most recently, what we've been focusing on is keeping rules and gameplay consistent between all the different game modes of the game. As we started to work on the co-op mode, we noticed some things that we really liked about the way it flowed, and then brought that into the Battle Royale, specifically some things about how the sentience performs and works in the game. We also have the sentience now as a draftable character in the skirmish mode.
Which, can I say,
yes.
I got to try that out for the first time, what was it, last week?
Yeah.
You feel so powerful, it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
it is really a lot of fun.
Yeah, so to dive into the skirmish mode a little bit, since we do have all the classes of, say, we'll have the sentience, we have the survivors, and then we have the monsters. They will be given point ratings just based on their class on the back of the card. So when you do the skirmish mode, you can kind of pair up and make sure that teams are equal between whoever you're demoing. The sentience is about the same worth as 3 survivors. So what we did as our little play test last week was a 4-player game. 1 person played the sentience, and the other 3 got to play as survivors, and it was a fun game. So we've been making tweaks to that. Some other things we've been focusing on, we've been getting a lot of feedback with the community. Now that we're a bit more public, we've been doing more play tests with people and getting good feedback. We've focused on a lot of the updates recently has been, what's the best way to describe it, has been mechanics and lore tying in and making sense together. There were a couple things that we were working on that, it was a mechanic because it was the way it worked, but it didn't necessarily feel right with the world. We've kind of been able to integrate those a lot better, so when you do something, it kind of responds the way you expect it to, whether it's how you interact with the sentients or how you interact with each other. The other thing is making sure that the game is always progressing. We've kind of taken a look at defense levels, health, and some of the numbers that are going through, and made sure that there's a lot less of these like very, very stagnant turns where maybe you just kind of fail across the board. It kind of is a bit more of a guaranteed progress because you can do a lot more. There's a new system we call the crafting system with materials where you can craft things like fishing nets and hang gliders and monster traps that kind of help you guarantee success in some of these things that you normally would just be taking a roll on. You have a bit more player agency across the board, across your turn, across all your decisions as you play through the game. I've been working on doing different modes, different difficulties within the modes, so that you can kind of even refine it more the way you want. As far as, is the sentience too strong or is he too weak? Do you want him to be, how effective do you want him to be in the game that you're playing? And then we've been tweaking the characters a lot. We've had some good feedback as far as, the character interactivity, and there's so much going on. The characters have really taken a new shape as far as how they interact with the world and interact with each other. And I want to give a shout out to Captain Stupendous, who has been helping me go through this rule book, because a 3D modular world with AI and combat and crazy abilities and different modes and these cards, it's definitely something that a challenge, and I think it's just something that you haven't really seen before. So I'm excited to see what everyone thinks once they get it in their hands and see what the community does with it. And one of the big points as far as the systems we've kind of been setting up is we've been building for the future. So stuff like the crafting system, the building system, the characters and their layouts, all the new expansions or boxes, whatever we want to call it, will come with all new characters, new mechanics, additional mechanics that build onto these open systems that we've laid out. So the game will just grow and grow over time, and it could end up who knows where, as far as what you're able to do, what kind of game modes will be available for it. But this was really just setting the stage for an experience that will just grow over time with the community, and allow the community and us to just come up with lots of experiments and fun ways to play.
Time Strike is very much a foundational system upon which tons and tons of experiences can be built on top. And we've talked a lot about this. We have so many characters and so much lore already written for the next couple of releases. We ourselves are missing playing those characters.
We haven't played them in a long time.
When we first started, working through the game and designing it, we used to play with all the characters, and then we were like, all right, well, we need to refine it back to the experience we're going to deliver to people. And so we haven't played them in almost a year or 2 years.
So
many of these characters we're just really excited to get back into and start using again and developing around. But what's great about that is we're pretty far ahead. We're maybe two more releases of Time Strike, full releases, not expansions,
correct,
but full standalone game products are pretty much done on the back end in terms of the pieces, the stories, the lore, the characters. Obviously, there'll be work to be done around the mechanics that Sony just mentioned,
right,
and how they play.
And I want to go over two more things. One is, as far as those expansions, everything is cross-compatible. So if you have the next game, which our next Sentience will come out, he has his own little mobs that he spawns and his own mechanics. You can play him with all the characters from the first game. Or if you want to put two Sentiences in the game and have them play it out and have just a massive, crazy battle, everything will be cross-compatible. between all the systems, all the games. And like I said, right now you can build walls and roads in the game. The next one might have who knows what. I always like to say cannons because I would like to build a cannon at one point, or dynamite, or who knows. It kind of just
sorry,
builds
I got distracted. Cannons?
He said cannons.
I don't know why
You
that
heard it
always
here
comes
first.
up. Yeah.
Apparently, we have cannons.
Yeah.
Not yet, but we will. Maybe. If
The-
Southby feels it necessary.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it depends what the theme is for that. How we play out the theme on the next one. But I want to talk a little bit more about the co-op experience because it's something that we've added later on, and there wasn't a lot of definition around it as far as what you could be expecting from the mode. So the way we've designed it is very much a gauntlet to see how far you can get. I pretty much can say very, very, very few people are going to complete the co-op experience on their first few tries. The intention of the co-op experience is to demo different different groupings of characters that you might choose, see what kind of works together, what doesn't work together, come up with different strategies, and just see how far you can go. We will have 2 sets of cards as far as that experience to show you basically kind of an easier mode and then the more difficult mode, so that you can get a starting point and then really try to push yourselves. But I don't think we've ever laid out exactly, and I don't think we knew earlier on exactly what we were going for the co-op. And kind of through our own playtest, what we came up with was this just pushing as far as you can, and as the sentience grows stronger and stronger, you're just seeing how far you can go, and you definitely have the chance, and we've beaten it ourselves before. So it's not something we're building just to say we'll see if anyone beats it. We've beaten it ourselves, but we've had a lot of time and experience with the game, and sometimes the rolls are in your favor too. So that's kind of what the first co-op experience is we're going for.
I will say that I enjoy the co-op mode the most personally. I like PvP, but I've always been a PvE guy ever since I played video games or any sort of games. I like really to work with the people around me. Maybe it's because I'm probably the worst gamer here and I just like to really get goofy and have a good time. But I also just really enjoy when the team has to collaborate and make a bunch of decisions to make sure that we are trying to act in the most maybe efficient way possible to win the game. So I love all the modes, but I love sitting down with a group of friends, having a beer, and figuring out how to bring down the sentience. We have enjoyed it, and I have personally enjoyed it every single time, and I love it when I get to play.
Southby, is the Time Strike card creator still alive?
Yes, it hasn't been updated in a while, but yes, the Time Strike card creator is live. I could probably make some tweaks to it since we've had some updates, but it's still up and running.
Question we got in the Discord.
Okay. Let me think if there's anything else I need to. I think.
All right, then I'm gonna do it. Everyone ready?
Oh, we're gonna push.
We're gonna push the button. Wait.
Oh boy.
And the pledge manager is gonna go live. Okay? If it breaks, you can blame me. Send notifications or don't?
No, don't send notifications.
Well,
send them
can
tomorrow.
people? Okay.
Yeah, what we're gonna say is we're gonna press the go live button. Okay.
And we're gonna give you the URL to go to.
Anyone who's watching now, you can go ahead. You can do your pledge configuration. You pay your shipping, anything you want to do.
Yeah.
If you see any problems, let us know. Before
Please.
we send out a blast notification to all of our backers in the world at large and start advertising, we'd love it if you guys could help us troubleshoot anything that we may have missed.
Yeah.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, it would be greatly appreciated. I want to give a shout out to Lex and Devin and Benji and everybody who was a myth who helped us test this. It was really, really helpful to have your feedback. Again, you're not going to receive a notification from this go live. We're going to give it 24 hours, and then we're going to send out notifications to all the backers. So anyone here, we're going to put the link to the pledge manager in the description of the video, and we're also going to put it in the chat so everybody can go and visit it. So I'm going to press this button in 3, 2, 1.
Deny.
Not denied. It wasn't denied.
Okay.
Launch Pledge Manager.
And loading.
Loading.
It's loading.
Pledge Manager is now live, and Late Pledge is now live. So thank you all for the support. We are hyper excited.
Gamefound.
Oh, the URL. Sorry. So the URL that you will be able to visit, and I'll say it, is...
You can just look up Source or Time Strike on Gamefound.
You can look up Source and Time Strike on Gamefound. And the URL is gamefound.com/projects/adventure-together/source system. And those are all /. So we look forward to seeing you in there. Again, if you have any questions, any concerns, you run into any issues, we have a Gamefound support chat in the Adventure Together Discord. Please drop us a line, tag us, tag Hamaro, tag Shaper, tag Salpy, whoever it is. We will make sure to help you as soon as possible. This is our number one focus for the next 30 to 40 days, making sure that you guys have the best experience possible. So we look forward to seeing what you guys do with those pledges. I'm sure a few of you, actually a lot of you, who only in Kickstarter said, I just want Pledge Manager access. I can't wait to see what you guys are going to end up backing, because I've seen a lot of them in Discord like, I can't wait to actually make my selection. So I'm super pumped about it. And I think something I'm excited about is seeing what environment theme gets the most hits.
That's
My bet
I have no idea.
Is Fantasy Forest based on polls we've done, but I have no idea.
Well, it's also going to be interesting because you can see some of all the new biomes and stuff, right? So that might change people's minds.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Look, don't sleep on 8-bit. That's all I'll say.
Don't sleep on 8-bit. I agree.
If you're sleeping on 8-bit, wake up. It's way cooler than you're thinking.
That's going to be a quote on the top of the website. If you're sleeping on 8-bit, wake up.
All right.
So
mission accomplished.
Yeah, mission accomplished. That's
Thank
all
you,
the
everyone.
updates that we have for tonight from the team. We're going to just kind of chill, and we're happy to chat with you. We're watching the Discord chat. We're watching the YouTube chat. If you have questions, if you have concerns, if you're already in the Pledge Manager and you're like, Hamaro, everything stinks, let me know so I can fix it. I don't believe that's the case, but I'm just being a little exaggeration there.
We'll probably play some Time Strike here, but I don't think we'll live stream it. I think we'll release it to you guys maybe later
Yes.
as a video, so you guys can watch it.
Yeah, I think that's best.
As always, thank you guys. Without you, none of this would have been possible. You guys have energized us. You've given us the opportunity to make this dream come to life, and we're so immensely and unbelievably grateful. I'm so excited for this adventure.
Yeah,
So glad that we're
this
on
is definitely just a start, and I want to shout out to all the people that are already making games for the system.
How can we not
It's
mention
been a
that?
pleasure playing. I've only played Ninjason's game so far. So shout out to Ninjason because
Shout out
he's
to
got
Lex,
he's got
and Jason.
You've also played Exopirates.
Oh,
And
Exopirates.
you played
Yeah,
Source
Exopirates.
TCG.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We've played a lot.
Oh, that's
we
right.
have
yeah.
we have 4 games in the works
So
right now,
here's,
right?
Here's the state of things. We have Epic, which is being designed by Lex and some of the guys over at NGC Games.
Is Epic or
Roguescaper.
Epoch.
It's pronounced
Epoch.
something like that.
Epoch.
Yeah, Epoch. It's a working title. Lex will get mad at me if I don't mention it. It's a working title.
Yo, Lex, you guys gotta look at Discord. Top 10 selling board games. He has Time Strike at the top in February 2031.
Nice.
He's a time traveler. Sorry, go ahead.
So we have Epoch by Lex, Roguescaper, some of the folks over at NGC Games. We have Exopirates, which is being designed by Jotun. We have Captain Stupendous, who is working on a game called Incursion. Those 3 games in particular, we are hoping to demo and playtest at Gen Con.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're at Gen Con, make sure you stop by the Exposure Playtest Hall, because we are going to be there, and we're going to have a bunch of source boards, and we're going to be playtesting these brand new games that are be coming out for Source. Thank you to those designers and those teams for your passion, for your dedication, for building such cool games, because they are really a lot of fun to play. We also have a new one coming in that I'm really excited about. His name is Gaming Grizzle in our Discord. He's from Germany. We met him at Spiel last year.
Oh, yeah.
He sent me some images of his game. I'll share them in the Discord, or we'll wait till he's ready to share them. He's pretty far along, and we're hoping to playtest and demo that at Spiel this year, so that'll be in October in Germany. So that right there is 4 games that are pretty far along. And then, of course, in adjacent, no title for that game yet, but it's absolutely stunningly good. I love playing it. Him and I have the longest game on record. It's still unfinished. He thinks he's won. I'm pretty sure I'm going to beat you, Jason. If you're watching, I ran through it in my head. I think I got you. I think I've got you by a turn. But anyway, all these games are really tremendous.
And we also have Source.
Cool
we also have Source TCG, which is being done by Arcanum and Mystical. So big shout out to them. Salpy and I got to play test that the other day, and it is much farther along than I think we realized. It's really, really fun. It brings a trading card game mixed with miniatures on the map, and it's just really, really enjoyable. So another good one. So that's 6 games in development for Source right now that the Adventure Together team is not developing.
Yeah, but
so that doesn't include the games that we are developing internally. I also want to just remind everybody, don't sleep on Source Golf. It's in the add-ons. Everybody that plays it thinks it's one of the most fun games that you can play on Source.
Joe Crazy's video?
Yes, and Joe Crazy's video.
Shout out to Joe Crazy for the best video.
Yes.
I've watched that 10, 15 times.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, that's on the homepage of Gamefound, so you'll see a list of all the YouTubers. Joe Crazy is on there with the latest video. He did a awesome review of Source Golf. It is actually like one of his favorite games. He plays it with his family. He plays it with his friends. He actually stated, he's like, it should have been Source Golf that was the Kickstarter. That's how much he loved it.
Maybe it'll get its own Kickstarter at some point.
Maybe
with, courses and stuff. We'll release all through.
And its own environment theme.
Yeah. We'll see. The more you guys enjoy it and play it, the more we'll know that that's where we should put our attention and time. But Source makers, as I call you independent game designers who are building for Source, I'm actually blown away that in under 12 months since we even announced we existed, you guys have swooped in and built games that are, frankly, pretty darn mature in terms of their development process.
Yeah.
Really, really excited to see how these things, kind of continue to grow. Know that we're here to be your constant partner throughout that process. Really, truly, my direct messages are open at all times on all channels. If you need help, if you need support, if you have questions, if you just want to understand how the business of tabletop gaming works, if you want to understand the industry, and the question I get probably most frequently from the Source makers is, what ways can we work together with you? Know that I am putting together a detailed document that will outline not only the different pathways you can take to work with us as a publisher, but the timelines you can expect if we're working together and if we're launching your game, and all the different steps throughout the process. So I know probably the biggest hurdle and obstacle to doing anything and committing your time and energy wholly to a project is this knowledge. It's such a barrier to entry, is knowing what to expect and what you're going to have to go through and what it takes.
Yeah.
I know for us, we look back all the time and think, if only we knew that
Oh my God.
a year ago, that we could have.
5 years ago.
Yeah, we could have prepared for it. So we're still learning, we're still growing, and I think that's why for a lot of first-time design teams, we're a really great partner, because we totally understand where you're coming from, and also it's going to be, we're going to be incentivized, and there's going to be just an equal sort of give and take between us as we sort of grow and develop together. But anytime you have questions, anything you want to know, please just shoot me a note. That's what we're here for, and we're really excited to help you guys get to the point and empower you as designers where you can start to publish your games and get them on people's tables around the world. And that is what we are getting really good at now as a team. We're becoming a tabletop gaming publisher. We've been designers, right?
Developers.
We've worn all sorts of different hats.
Testers.
Right? We've worn all sorts of different hats. And right now,
admins.
Right now, as we're seeing all this opportunity, and you guys are getting us so excited and so passionate about the games you're designing, we know that we're going to have to become the best publisher we possibly can be, and we're taking all the steps necessary to do that. So keep reaching out to me, and keep designing great games. I'm having fun playing them.
It's been really validating that the open source vision for tabletop was so quickly adopted by the community.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it tells me that all they were missing was a platform to build on. And now all of you have taken the reins and you're creating games that I couldn't even imagine. It's really, really cool to see how quickly, it's like you guys have been thinking about it for years and you're like, if only there was an outlet, and then you're like, there it is. And now it's all coming to life. So I'm so appreciative. It's very inspiring, and it's really validating that this whole community is set out with the same vision. This isn't just the Adventure Together team that's accomplishing open source. It takes the entire community. And Chris said the other day, we were in a meeting, and he said, board games are built on community, and the community around them is what keeps them alive. And I think this community is already so strong with so much more to go. And I think you guys are what's going to keep us alive for years and years and years to come. So that's just an outpouring of gratitude from me, and just nothing but inspiration that keeps us moving forward.
As I look out to the future, I think that this core group of makers, we're going to have a profound impact on the industry and the way publishers and designers think about getting their products out to people. I'm really excited to have that impact. It's only possible if we do it together. So, again, thank you guys so much for being on this adventure with us. This is the whole point. It's what we stand for. It's why we're here. It's why we're doing what we're doing.
Yep.
And you guys are you guys give us the energy every day to keep pushing.
Yeah, we're literally just walking out of Bag End right now, just starting the adventure. We've got a lot to go.
All right, I think we can wrap it.
Yep.
Golden Raptor, I see your comment. I will look into it right away.
Oh boy.
And see if there's just a setting that I can swap. From what I understand, it sounds like I'll ping you directly, but it sounds like you have to choose each instead of just one. So let me figure that out, and I'll get it fixed for you immediately. Thank you for reporting it.
Thanks, everyone.
Any other questions? Just a minute here. Any other questions? Put them in the chat. I'll just hold on for a minute. That way, if anybody has anything on their mind, and then we're going to wrap up. Shoot. And we're going to be streaming a lot more. Now that kind of the admin phase and this crunch that we had the last few months is done, we're going to be trying to get back to our weekly, bi-weekly streams whenever we can, just to give you guys updates, make sure you see our faces, make sure you know that we're still working every day.
And keep playing games.
Yeah. We've been doing some Time Strike playtests, so we're on a bi-weekly basis. We're pulling in pioneers, and we're getting them to do tabletop simulator tests with us. So if I reach out to you for a playtest and you are inclined to and you want to, we'll set up a time. If you're interested in a playtest of Time Strike on Tabletop Simulator, ping me directly. I'm looking for more people to participate. The more feedback that we can get, the better. It's really, really exciting to see somebody who played, and Lex, I'm talking about you, somebody who played Time Strike a few months ago, and now they've played now, and they're really, really happy with the changes, and they're really, really excited about where the game is going. That was really nice to see. So I want to get more of that from the community, and I just want to hang out with you guys, honestly. We always have a really, really good time just chatting and getting feedback and goofing around.
Golden Raptor, yes, for anybody that's curious, if you're the pledge manager and you're confused, tiles are liquids. They are like hexes, but they're half as tall, and they're a bit wider. They also stack on top of hexes, but they're used to represent liquids. Tony's going to hold one up to the camera so you can see it. If at any point you guys get confused, tiles are liquids. They're just like a different type of building block. If you go to our website, there's a good breakdown of what all the components for Source are. We can probably add something as well to the pledge manager to clarify in case it wasn't.
Yeah, we can clarify it.
There are your liquids. Liquids,
thinner,
biomes, and hexes.
Yeah, liquids can stack on other
We just
things,
call them tiles
but
and
it doesn't go
hexes.
the other way.
That's the best way to think about them.
If you want to play Source Golf and play test that on Tabletop Simulator, ping me. We'll get it set up. Source Golf, Time Strike. We also have, like we said, we have other games in development. I know that our makers are looking for people to test. We're happy to bring you in. I'm sure the makers would be more than happy to get more feedback from the community. That's what we're all here to do. We're here to support each other, help each other grow, and create a library of experiences on Source. You know.
We have a question from Michael. With the pledges that get multiple sets, can you not get multiples of the same set? If you're having trouble doing that,
let us know.
Let us know.
You should be able to get as many of any type of set that you want to.
Right. If you got 8 and you want them all to be Highlands, that you should be able to do that. So
if it's not allowing you to, we'll make sure that we fix it.
That's why we're just launching now to this select group, so you guys can help us find all the issues. We know you guys are if you're watching this, you're probably the most passionate and invested in what we're doing. So thank you so much for finding those issues if they are there. But no, you should absolutely be able to do that.
Yeah, Michael, we'll have to look into that. Just ping Hamaro on Discord. I'm going to look into it right after we stop the stream here. I'm going to look into Raptor's issue, and I'm also going to look into yours. I'm actually going to go into my own pledge and try to make updates like you guys are doing and seeing what the issues are.
I can't wait to update my own pledge. So
Yeah.
We're going to cut the stream so that I can get in there and do it.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Keep adventuring.
Ask us questions in the Discord. We'll be up.
We love you all. Have a great night.
The source is open.
The source is open. Pledge. Thank you and good night.